What's good? What's good, people? What's good, YouTube? What's going on with everybody and what's happening out there? It's your boy Hello, and I'm back again with another video. Today's video, I'll be breaking down how I took a trade on the NAS, and I will share some possible market direction for today and for the rest of the week, possibly. So it's the last day of the month, 31st. I guess we all enjoyed our month. We had a profitable month. We had a productive one. We just did the most out of it. Well, what's most importantly is that you stay productive and consistent in all that you do. I didn't have a profitable one. It's just a break-even month, no profit. Okay, I did make some profit and gave them back. Made a few, gave them back. Made a few, gave them back. So it's not a profitable one. It's just a break-even month. I still have my funds, the initial funds that I had in my deposit. And yeah, without further ado, let's just trust the process and continue being productive and consistent in all that we do. Let's just roll over and let's hit the charts. So on the next, looking at the charts, we're on the daily time frame. Yeah, we're on the daily time frame. Looking at the next, because we simply said that on Sunday on our outlook, we simply need to wait for what? For an exhaustion phase for price to continue moving to the downside. My bad on that. Okay, that's my network. My bad on that one. That's my network. So looking at the NAS, we can tell that like we simply said we simply need to wait for price to pull back and retest the levels which it broke in order for price to continue moving to the downside. Or we can simply get our correction and price will impulsively just move to the downside. So with that said, this was an indecision candle on Monday which we had. On Monday I did take trades, but I made a mistake. But I will break it down on the hourly time frame about it. Sorry about that again. So like I was saying, we had an indecision candle on Monday, which filled the gap which we had, which priced opened on market open on Monday. Boom. So on Tuesday, we saw that like we're having a possible continuation to the downside. But what I waited for was for confirmation that we are really moving to the downside for the day. So with that said, I'm off gonna head to the 4H. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my network. I don't know what the fuck. She just woke up and decided to trip on me when I'm about to record. Damn, bro. But we wait. We wait. We wait. So looking at the 4H, we did say we simply wait for what? I might simply wait for price to pull back. Boom. Which is a retest on the daily time frame for price to continue moving to the downside. But price did choose to close the gap and continue to the upside and just boom, short impulsively to the downside. So how I took a trade, it's on Monday I saw an indecision candle with a gap fill. On Tuesday, I said if we had a gap fill on Monday and an indecision candle close, what I'm simply waiting for is for confirmation that price will continue moving to the downside. Boom. So on London Open, on this candle, okay, this was the candle close for the Asian session on the 4 hour. We had this boom break of this highs on the London Open on the London session. This break of this highs, price broke out. So when price broke impulsively, what I simply waited for on the 1H, that was a confirmation that like price will will like continue moving to the upside, or price will have some sort of bullish depletion and start being bearish before. So we had what that we had price being okay, we had price showing us some sort of depletion and price just really to the downside. But I'm just waiting on my network so we can show I can show you what I'm finna talk. So looking at the hourly time frame, price printed those highs. Price was rejecting off of those highs, but it closed the gap. Boom. So with that, the only thing I waited for it was for a confirmation that like we are finna gonna continue moving to the upside, no to the downside. So on our session, this was the fuck, man. This was the London. This was the London Open candle on 9 a.m. in Southern African time, CAT. Boom, price broke, but closed inside the rejections. Boom. So with that price breaking, we had the other candle, which was also bullish, but had some sort of depletion. You can tell that like with this impulsive move, we had a an 85 pip move and we had a 60 pip. So price was just like sort of having some sort of depletion before we saw with this depletion, we saw okay 9, 10, 11. We had this indecision, 12 p.m. We had a pin bar, 1 p.m., which is 1300 p.m., 1300 p.m., which was like 7 a.m. in the USA, pre-New York. On pre-New York, we had this big candle close. So with the big candle close, I was like, if price is closing bullet bearish on pre-New York, we might have a possible continuation on New York Open. You feel me? So now we had a pin bar and a bear close, and we took a trade based on price being. We took a trade based on price having one some sort of bullish depletion on our London session. Two, we had a pin bar and a bear candle close. Three, we had some sort of bear momentum stepping in the charts. Four, we took a trade, we took a short trade or a sale based on bullish depletion, bear momentum, pin bar, bear close, bear continuation to the downside on our New York session, which was what I did. So boom, price rally to the downside. We managed to take probably like because this was my initial TP off of this previous higher low. From this previous higher low, when price rally to the downside, which pushed price strongly to the upside. I was like, if price comes back here, then that's our TP. So on that, now on that price, what's wrong with my laptop? I don't understand what's wrong with my trading view now. I could have said I could have said it's my laptop, but now I can't see. It's literally like my trading view. Shit is tripping up on me, man. Like, there's nothing for me to do. So let's use MT4. Can't stop breaking. So we had a pin bar bear close and took a trade based on bullish depletion and bear momentum. So what does we managed to probably like take, let's see, I can't tell the number of pips because of this, man. Can't tell. So we took a trade based on it. I can't tell how many pips it was. So with this trade, we took it. Okay, it's back. So we took a trade based on those anticipations. We managed to take TP somewhere there, but I took TP on 3 a.m. today, somewhere here, which was like somewhere there. But on this candle, I can tell I remember very well because I saw a price trend above this high, above this low. It was like, nah, price will trade above a bit. So let me just take my trade. So now we managed to take, I think, 300, yeah, 250 or 300 pips on this trade. But initially we were looking for about 500. So now with that said, I always tell it, I start from the daily, head to the 4H and head to the 1H and I take a trade. So looking at current price for today from the 4H, because we know we had a bear candle close yesterday to close the session, the Tuesday session, and it's a Wednesday today. We can tell that like price did broke this high, boom, this lower low, lower high, lower low. We might possibly have a lower high, but it's above the previous lower low reform. So it's different to say we might have a continuation to the downside. So what I'm simply waiting for is for price to trade below. This for price to trade below the zone to continue moving to the downside. So from the 1H, we can tell that like with the push phase, we're having an exhaustion phase before price can continue with the push phase. But what we're simply waiting for is for price to trade below the zone. So if we can simply get a push and a retest below, we can actually have a continuation to the downside. But if price bounces off the zone, we can simply have a continuation to the upside. So today on the NAS, I'm simply looking to take those short positions once price trades below the lower high, the lower low which we had. But if we fail to trade below of that zone and bounce off of it, we can simply continue moving to the upside with price reform. So breaking down the trade I took on the NAS again, I simply waited for what? I was simply looking to be bullish with price once it broke out. Reform, no lie, because I'm a breakout trader. But we had a breakout, but I saw some sort of depletion, pin bar, bear close for a continuation to the downside on the NAS. So now I can't take a trade and have a 90 pip stop loss. Nah, she gonna kill me. Shit will kill me. I won't do it. That's the mistake that I don't want to do. Can I check who's knocking? Okay, sorry. That was just a guy who's selling scones and biscuits. He goes house to house. So now I won't have a 90 pip stop loss, but what I'll simply do is to simply wait for price to confirm that like we are having a continuation to the downside and just take a trade. And I'm gonna see where I'm gonna place my stop loss. You form. So on the next, I'm still looking for continuation to the downside. Once price trades below this high, this low. But if we bounce off the zone, I might simply continue moving to the upside. But we're having pre-New York, we're having a London session. We're having our London session in about 25 minutes before me. So if we're having such momentum, which is like the same shit here, we're having a rejection, boom, and we had an indecision candle, and we might be having a bear candle close in anticipation that we're having a big market open on our London session. So heading down to gold from the 4H. Gold, it was as simple as it is. We simply wait for price to close below the zone to continue bearish, or for price to bounce off the zone to continue bullish. But price broke out and broke in. Now we broke out. So with that said, we haven't this low and we came back again to this low, but our momentum is kind of like stepping in. The bear momentum is kind of like stepping in for me. So I'm not gonna head to the 4H, to the 1H. So from our hourly time frame, you can tell that like price is off the zone. What you simply need to wait for is for price to trade below the zone and continue bearish, or to trade above the zone and start moving bullish. But at the same time, we can't just go bullish. We can't just go bullish when we know that like we're having a strong level which price was trading above from and traded below from, and now it's trading below. So on gold, I can't say much because price is just moving the way it's moving, and I don't love it. So to me, gold is a no go. So looking at German 30 from our 4H price, okay, we was looking for the same shit for what? For price to kind of like continue moving to the downside, because we had this zone we broke out. We simply waited for it for price to come back for a retest and continue bearish. So with that said, we had price trading what? We had price retesting that level, trading above that zone and trading again below, reacting off those highs, reacting off those intraday support, and moving to the upside. So now because it's pre-London and German 30 is our London pay, our European pay. If now we're having some sort of market depletion like we had on, like we have it on the NAS, like what's currently happening on this zone, I might simply wait for price to close bearish and just simply continue with the bear trend. But if but if price is now showing us some sort of depletion or some sort of fail to go make those lows, we might simply start moving to the upside with price. So German 30, it's also simple. We're having some sort of depletion. Price did push to the downside. Okay, price did push and exhausted, tried pushing, exhausted again. So we might have a potential push to the downside on German 30. Looking at US 30 from the 4H, price did price did break the support zone, which was looking to be bearish from, had some sort of correction, which is a bear flag when you're trading patterns or when you're trading continuations. Had some sort of a bear flag, which price retested the very same zone was looking to be bearish from, and price moved to the downside. Now that we came back for a retest on the lows which we had, price might just continue moving to the downside. So from the 1H to find our pattern and our behavior, price I can only say with this can simply what take a sell with our stop loss above that zone, with our TP1 off of that zone, and a continuation once price breaks those lows. So I still see price being bearish. I still see my indices being bearish, but at the same time, I don't want to say they bearish without me having confirmations that we are going to continue being bearish. Before looking at USD cap from the 4H, okay, USD CAD was simply waiting for what, for price to tap that zone and move to the downside, or for price to break the zone and continue moving to the upside. Unfortunately, had this bear move, but price yesterday pushed impulsively to the upside. Price impulsively pushed to the upside, which is simply what, a break and a retest for continuation to the upside. So from the 4H, from the hourly time frame, price is kind of like having some sort of a retest right there. So to me, I might simply wait for what? For a close above outside that zone again in anticipation of what? A break, a retest for continuation to the upside. That's just how it is. That's just how I look for my trades, and just that's how I base my trades. I don't look for much and I'm not hoping for much. I'm just looking to take what I'm comfortable to take and get out of the charts. So USD I still see price being bullish. You follow me? Once you have that bullish momentum or that continuation to the upside, confirming that like price will continue moving to the upside. So just to confirm, we might be possibly having a bullish flag, but we might simply wait. We might finna have a bullish flag, but I'm simply waiting for what? For price to close above that zone again to continue bullish with price. But if we're having a retest below, we might have a bear move to the downside, because we trade current price, what's happening now, in anticipation on what might happen in future. Before me, that's just how it is, and just as how I base my trades. So looking at Tesla, I did say on Tesla, we're simply waiting for price to bounce off that zone and continue bullish, or for price to have a break below, a retest below for continuation to the downside. So we did have a break below. We simply wait for a retest and a continuation to the downside. Tesla, Bitcoin from the 4H. Bitcoin was in a correction. Bitcoin was moving sideways. Bitcoin moved sideways, and we had a breakout before me. And from that breakout, price is trading off of the zone. I don't know how Bitcoin is moving on current price because I don't understand what's happening. It's just the bears and the bulls fighting before me. So I don't understand it. Let me head to the 1H. So even from the 1H, I can't tell like what's happening, but I still have my zone, my intraday support, my intraday resistance zone, which I have, which price broke out and broke in, broke out now breaking in. So we might have an anticipation of price continuing to the downside. So I have this now. Oh, my remove that this key level. So let's just simply wait for what for price to break the brick wall and continue bearish, or for price to bounce us off the brick wall, break the highs, reaches the highs, and continue bullish. But I don't see Bitcoin being bullish anytime soon. So heading down to Ethereum because Bitcoin I can't see much. Ethereum will also say we're looking for price to close below those lows, the support and continue bearish, which we did have a breakout, but price chose to broke back in that zone and retest above and short to the upside. So with that said, I might finna wait for confirmation for me to take a trade to continue moving to the downside or to the upside. But from the hourly time frame, because price did break the brick wall and had a retest and broke in again. Now it's history to me. I can't use it anymore. You follow me? I might need to use current price section. You follow me? I might finna use this current price action in anticipation of price having this type of bullish channel. If we get a breakout, then we might have that anticipation to continue bearish with price. You follow me? So Bitcoin because a nigga lied to live. Sometimes hate I sometimes hate how cryptocurrencies tend to move or how they tend to move. I sometimes hate it, but at the same time, it is what it is. I'm still looking to take my trade once price closes below this rejections which we have. You phone me. That's it on the 4H. I can't say much. I'm simply waiting for a 4 hour candle to close below the lows which we have to continue bearish with price once. But as long as price continue bouncing off that zone, then we can buy, we can buy support. We can't just simply buy support. You follow me? Also, we're having the same shade as Bitcoin and Ethereum. We simply wait for a breakout, but this breakout needs to be long enough because also we're waiting for price to break the high, to break the lows, the intraday lows which we have. You follow me? So Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Litecoin. I'm just waiting for stronger confirmations. But if you can see something which I don't see, drop a comment, bro. Drop a comment and let me know what you think so we can put in work, man. Stop being a CC. You feel me? So last but not least, we have an oil. So oil, I need to start from the daily time frame. Oil, and my I did remove this channel which we had. You feel me? So oil, I did say we had this pin bar on Sunday. We had this pin bar when I analyzed on my weekly outlook. And I said if we can get a bullish close above this highs, we can continue bullish. But price unfortunately chose to trade bearish, closing below the support level. So with the close below, we simply wait for retest below and continue bearish from the daily, heading down to the 4H. Price did push to the upside, had a correction, hit a bear moves to the downside. Now we're looking for a retest below for price to continue moving to the downside. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's just how I base my trades, and that's just how I look for my trades. So we're looking for price to show us some sort of bear momentum once price gets that reaches to continue moving to the downside. But at the same time, we just simply need to use what's currently happening, price and possibly short to the downside. Having a correction, we might simply continue moving to the downside. You follow me? So oil had I think a 5% drop yesterday. Yeah, we had a 7% in total, but with the pullback, it gave us a 5% to close the market, to close the session. So with current price, we're having a potential bear flag. We're having a potential bear flag, which we might simply need to wait for what break, retest, or continuation to the downside. You feel me? So that's just how it is. That's just how I base my trades, and that's just how I wake up to look for my trades. You feel me? So on the NAS, once again, we waited for a pin. We saw a pin bar. We waited for a bear close in anticipation for a bear continuation to the downside. Looking at current price, we're having a rejection, we're having an indecision, and we're having this potential bear close on our London session. So with that said, I might simply take a sell based on price giving us that anticipation. But I can have, okay, can I at least have a 50 pip? We might simply have a 50 pip stop loss for continuation to the downside. You follow me? And if price bounces off the zone, we continue being bullish in anticipation of a push phase, exhaustion phase, for continuation push phase, which is a what higher high, higher low, potential higher high to the upside on the NAS. That's what I'm looking for today. Gold can say much. German 30, same as the NAS, depletion, bear momentum, bear continuation. Same as German 30, same as US 30, but US 30 is a bit stronger than the NAS and the German 30 because we're having a potential retest and we're reacting off of that retest. We might simply wait for what for continuation to the downside. USD CAD will simply wait for a close above that zone or break of our brick wall, break of our bull flag to continue to the upside. But if we have a trade, but if we have a retest below that very same zone, we can continue moving to the downside. Tesla was simply waiting for continuation to the downside because it's confirmed. Bitcoin, same thing. Wait for break of our break wall to continue moving to the downside. Same as Ethereum, same as Litecoin. For oil, we're simply waiting for price to break our flag, to break our bear flag and continue to the downside, or for price to come back again and close above, retest above and continue moving to the upside. So boy, once again, young Harlem. If you ain't love trading with Harlem, who the fuck is you doing with it? So that's all I got, man, on this video. Don't want to say much. I don't want to spend much time, and I want to be busy with my things, personal things, you know. So that's all I got in this video, man. Peace and love. I'm out.